Good day, sir. I am John Philip Amor. Now I discuss the three topic which is law of human rights, punishment and different forms of human rights violations, and governmental programs for the victims. First is laws of human rights. Human rights laws are set of rules and principles that protect the basic rights and freedoms of all people. These laws aims to ensure that everyone, regardless of their background, enjoy equal rights and freedoms. Key principles of human rights law. Universality. Human rights apply to everyone regardless of nationality, race, gender, religion, or any other status. Inalienability. These rights cannot be taken away or given up. Indivisibility. All human rights are interconnected and interdependent. Equality. All individuals are equal before the law and entitled to equal protection under the law. Accountability. States are responsible for upholding human rights and are subject to international scrutiny. Sources of human rights law. International law. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted in 1948, is a foundational document outlining fundamental human rights. Other key international instruments include the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. Regional law. Regional human rights frameworks such as the European Convention on Human Rights and the American Convention on Human Rights provide specific protections within their respective regions. National law. Many countries have incorporated human rights principles into their constitutions, laws, and policies. Challenges to human rights law. Despite the existence of robust legal framework, challenges remain in ensuring the full realization of human rights. These include state violations. Governments may violate human rights through actions such as torture, arbitrary detention, discrimination, and restriction on freedom of expression. Lack of enforcement. The enforcement of human rights law can be difficult due to the factors such as political interference, lack of resources, and weak judicial systems. Cultural relativism. Some argue that human rights are culturally relative and that certain practices or beliefs should be exempt from universal human rights standards. Conclusion. Human rights law is a vital tool for protecting the fundamental rights and freedoms of individuals. While challenges exist, ongoing efforts of strengthen the legal framework, promote accountability, and raise awareness about human rights are essential for ensuring a world where everyone can enjoy their inherent rights. Next topic is punishment and different forms of human rights violation. Punishment, when applied appropriately, can be a tool for upholding justice and deterring future wrongdoing. However, it's crucial to distinguish between legitimate punishment and human rights violations disguised as punishment. Here's a breakdown of the key concepts. Legitimate punishment. Based on law, punishment should be imposed only for acts that are clearly defined as crimes under law. Proportionate. The severity of punishment should be proportionate to the crime committed. Fair trial. The accused must have a fair trial, including the right to legal representation and the presumption of innocence. Rehabilitation. Punishment should aim to rehabilitate the offender and reintegrate them into society. Human rights violation disguised as punishment. Torture. Inflicting severe physical or mental pain for the purpose of punishment or coercion. This is always a human rights violation regardless of the crime committed. Extrajudicial killing. Killing someone without due process of law, often carried out by the state, actors, or non-state groups. This is a gross violation of the right to life. Arbitrary detention. Detaining someone without legal justification or due process. This violates the rights to liberty and security of person. Discrimination. Punishing individuals based on their race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, or other protected characteristics, this violates the principle of equality before the law. Censorship. Restricting freedom of expression by suppressing dissenting voices or critical information. This violates the right to freedom of expression. Example of human rights violation in the context of punishment. Capital punishment. While some argue it is a legitimate form of punishment, many consider it is a violation of the right to life, particularly when there are doubts about the fairness of the trial or the possibility of wrongful conviction. Impunity. When perpetrator of human rights violations escape justice and accountability, it undermines the rule of law and perpetuates cycle of violence. Conclusion. Punishment must be applied within a framework of human rights. It should be just, proportionate, and aim to rehabilitation. When punishment is used to violate human rights, it undermines justice and perpetuates suffering. It's crucial to hold perpetrators accountable and advocate for a system of justice that respects the inherent dignity of all individuals. The last topic is governmental programs for the victims. The Philippines has a range of programs designed to support victims of crime, providing essential services like compensation, protection, counseling, and legal assistance. This program aims to help victims recover and navigate the justice system. Key programs. Victims Compensation Program. Established under Republic Act No. 7309, this program grants compensation to victims of unjust imprisonment or detention and victims of violent crimes. Victims may receive up to 10,000 Philippine pesos to cover expenses related to hospitalization, medical treatment, lost wages, and other costs directly resulting from the crime. Witness Protection Program. This program safeguards victims or witnesses of grave felonies who face threats to their life or safety. Victims of human trafficking are given priority under the program, promoting their protection and security. The program provides secure housing, financial assistance, and other support services to protect individuals. Rape Crisis Centers. These centers offers comprehensive support to victims of rape, providing the psychological counseling, medical services, legal assistance, and recovery program. The goal is to help victims heal physically and emotionally while navigating the legal process. DSWD Programs for Violence Against Women and Children, or VAUSI. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, implements protective programs and services for victim survivors of violence against women and children. These programs offer psychosocial care and counseling, legal and paralegal assistance, temporary shelter, and referral services. Additional support. Constitutional and statutory victims' rights. The Philippines has constitutional amendments and statutes that guarantee rights for crime victims, including the right to be informed of court proceedings and outcomes, the right to attend trials and other hearings, and the right to make statement to the court. Interagency Council on Violence Against Women and their Children. The DSWD coordinates with member agencies and services providers to implement existing programs and services aims to protecting victim survivors of abuse. The public can report and refer VAUSI victims to various service providers, including the police, NBI, and psychosocial support organizations. Conclusion. The Philippines government has established a framework to support victims of crime, providing financial assistance, protecting counseling, and legal aid. While challenges remain in fully realizing these protections, these programs offer a crucial lifeline for victims seeking to rebuild their lives and access justice. That would be all, sir. Thank you.